Hello, good evening. So today we are going to discuss about a different topic altogether. In the sense, it's a continuation of, we did Vata. Uh, we for last week we did Pitta, and this week we are going to understand a little bit about Kapha dosha. Okay, so Vata done, Pitta also done, and this week it is Kapha. Okay, so let's start. So these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. IST. Okay, they call it Ask Me Anything sessions. You can ask your questions and I'll be here to answer you. Okay, so let's start. So Ayurveda, the importance of Kapha. We have seen, as I said, we have seen Vata and Pitta already. Now it is Kapha right now. Okay, so the Tridosha origin, when you look at, as I said, even in the last class, that everything is basically the Pancha Mahabhutas. Every science or every art you see, which originated from this eastern part of the world, revolves around the Pancha Mahabhutas or the five basic elements. And these five basic elements have been reclassified as Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And Vata, Pitta, and Kapha is exclusively for Ayurveda. No other science have got Vata, Pitta, Kapha. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So everything is made of those five elements. So Vata is also made of five, Pitta is also made of five, and Kapha is also made of the five elements. But the predominance. So when you look at that's what I've given over there. So the predominance of Akasha and Vayu, when you've got Mahabhuta, that makes it predominantly Vata. When you've got the predominance of Agni, that becomes predominantly Pitta. When you've got the predominance of Jala and Prithvi, that is earth and water, then it predominantly becomes Kapha. So that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha from the Pancha Mahabhutas. Okay, then slowly let's start seeing what the Kapha dosha is. Okay, so Kena, what do you mean by Kapha? Kena phaleti iti Kapha. Okay, in the sense by by which we start getting phala or result or nourishment. That which nourishes is basically Kapha. Okay, and what is a Kapha sthana? Where do you have Kapha? We have got Kapha in all parts of the body, but predominantly when we draw a line between the umbilicus and the heart. Okay, so between the umbilicus and the heart is Pitta, below the umbilicus is Vata, and above the heart is basically Kapasthana. So the neck, the head, and all those things is basically the Kapasthana. Okay, so Urdhva, above the chest, is basically Kapasthana. And what are the gunas? As I said, it is predominantly Kapha is predominantly Jala and Prithvi. That means water and earth. So water and earth is basically heavy. So Kapha is also heavy, and that is the one that gives the nourishment. As I said, you can see Kena phaleti iti Kapha, by which nourishment is being provided. That is Kapha. So these are the gunas of Kapha. What? Snigdha. That means it is oily. When you look at Pitta, also it was Snigdha, but Pitta is oily. Here Kapha is a little bit more thick. You may call it a little bit more thick. That is greasy. Okay, so Snigdha, it is Shita, it is cold. It is Guru, it is heavy. It is Manda, it is slow. Okay, and it is Thira. That means it is stable. Vata is the only thing which moves. And we saw last time, as far as Pitta goes, it is Drava, it is liquid, it is ready to move. And Kapha is Thira, it is very difficult to move Kapha. Okay, so these are basically the properties of Kapha. Okay, now types of Kapha. Just like Vata and Pitta, Kapha is also of 5 types. We have got the Avalambaka Kapha. Avalambaka Kapha stays basically in the Hridaya, in the chest areas, and it takes care of your heart and basically lungs and all the circulatory part of the body. And then you have got the Kledaka Kapha. Kledaka Kapha is helps in digestion. In the sense, okay, when you eat food, the food when it goes inside your stomach, you have got the digestion happening over there. The digestive juices which come and get attached to the food and make it the kledaka basically, which increases the watery part of it, okay, which makes it gooey. That kapha is kledaka kapha, okay. And tarpaka kapha is basically stays in the head and it takes care of all your, it nourishes all your senses, okay. Then you have got the bodhaka kapha. Bodhaka kapha is basically in the mouth and the tongue, which helps you get the taste of what, if you notice that if your mouth is extremely dry and you don't have, it's very dry, you put something inside your mouth, you will not be able to appreciate taste. That which makes you help appreciate taste is bodhaka kapha. And then you have got shleshaka kapha is in the joint, okay, that which gives lubrication to the joints, okay. Kapha is there everywhere, okay. Wherever you see anything liquidy or heavy, it is basically kapha. Kapha is the only one that has got form, okay. Whatever you see in form is kapha, and wherever you see energy, heat, and all those things is pitta, and wherever you see movement is vata. So it's all about vata, pitta, and kapha here, okay. So so by where this kapha stays and what activity it is done, this kapha has been classified as these 5, okay. Then the actions and the karma and lakshanas of kapha. So its main job is to basically give stability to the body, okay. The strength and the nourishment is basically because of kapha, okay. So when you eat the food when you put it inside and the digestion happens, that the rasa dhatu, the nourishment which comes out of that, is predominantly kapha, and that has to get to every part of the body for the body to become really stable and nourished, okay. And the lakshanas, how do you make out regarding the kapha, okay. So whenever you have got itching, all kinds of itching, it's basically because of kapha. And if you feel heaviness, as you know, right, it's predominantly water and earth. So heaviness is the main quality. So if you feel that your leg is heavy or your head is heavy, you feel, so when you have a lot of your sinuses are all filled with phlegm, you feel the heaviness. So heaviness is always attributed to kapha. Stiffness, okay, is because some part of the thing is heavy, it doesn't move so much. Stiffness is also associated with kapha, okay. Then when a certain area is cold, it is kapha. When it is greasy or oily, it is kapha. When you vomit or when you've got too much of salivation, that gooey, it's all basically kapha. And with kapha, you feel when it is too much of kapha, any spot, if you see it is pale, that means that there is an increase of kapha, okay. When it is dark or ash color or blackish color, it is vata. When it is pale or whitish, it is kapha. All other colors, is basically pitta, okay. So any obstruction, as I said, stiffness and all those things, obstruction, all those things also comes under kapha, okay. So you may start asking your questions from here, okay. Let me see what all questions I can answer. So Anubhav Shukla, I have psoriasis for the past 4 years. I take panchakarma, woman and religion, but last 2 years it's not. Gave argument. Okay. So Anubhav, I see that. So Anubhav, if you look at psoriasis, let us classify psoriasis also into 3 as vata, pitta, and kapha. You have got psoriasis. You see psoriasis with a lot of flakiness, okay. That is basically predominantly vata. You see psoriasis which are reddish round in patches. Those are predominantly pitta. And then you see psoriatic patches, large patches which have got a lot of itching. So psoriasis also has got different varieties. So treatment also has to be according to that. And panchakarma is Anubhav. In my experience, it is definitely the best approach you have to do. Okay, so you can actually what do you call do treatments, with you said that you have undergone panchakarma. I don't know what went wrong, but with panchakarma, the cleansing has to happen. Plus medicines, yes, you have written about them, and I don't know to what extent you were put on a strict diet. Diet is very important, and we have seen fantastic results with psoriasis. I'm telling you, and I don't know what your age is, but really well we can manage and above. Okay, don't even worry about it. Okay, lethargy, sluggishness, yes. Lack of motivation, I'm not very sure. Okay, the mental thing, it can be a lot of tamas also, but lethargy, sluggishness, yes, are all lakshanas of kapha. And when the kapha, as you said, when there is an imbalance and the kapha goes up, for generally a kapha, if a person is a kapha prakriti person, he will be somebody who will be a slow doer. Okay, that doesn't mean that he's not an achiever. He's a slow doer. It might mean not. He might not be lazy. He might be somebody who is also patient. He is very slow with things, and he does only when he's sure about things. So kapha prakriti person is very 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 he might be slow to pick up things, but the moment he picks up things, he's very clear. He doesn't forget. Okay, he retains things. So as I said, uh, a kapha person is also in certain qualities. We say that he's superior. It's not that vata is superior or pitta superior. All three doshas have been given equal importance. So when kapha goes out of balance, when you have got too much of kapha, then you always feel like lying down. As you said, you feel lazy to do things. Okay, so motivation is basically with the mind. If there is an urgency, then sometimes they might do it, but otherwise, yes, these things, it slows you down because this thira guna of kapha kicks in. Low platelets for my dad. He has stage 4 liver fibrosis. Okay. See, normally, in Ayurveda, when Sushruta, okay, when he talks about srotas are the channels, so through which everything moves. So there's something called Raktavaha srotas, through channels through which the Rakta moves. Raktavaha srotaso mula yagrut moolam plihascha. So very clearly, Sushruta has told that the mula or the base of blood is the liver and the spleen. So liver, see, with all of this activity, you see that a lot of the contribution to formation of blood happens from the liver, and destruction of the blood cells happen in the spleen. So when your liver is affected, the quality of your blood goes down. And now you say that your liver has basically come to a normal stage, okay, and still the platelets are low, then I would say, depending upon his strength, okay, he can actually go for snehapana. Okay, that means consuming ghee. Okay, under medical supervision. I don't know. See, tiktakam ghee or mahatiktakam ghee would be the right thing, or drakshadi also is fine. Drakshadi kashayam is good, because once we consult, we'll be able to find out what best suits him. So the liver function, yes, the size and all those things are back to normal, but probably it might not be functioning the way it has to function. Starts functioning, yes, there are definitely medicines in which we can. See, we don't want to. See, papaya juice is something which will increase the number of platelets, but we don't want to do things directly which will improve the number of platelets. We want to increase the quality of the liver so that lot of other things also improve in it. Okay. Yes, ultrasound shows slightly enlarged fibroscan. Yeah. So it's absolutely, you don't have to worry too much. I think you can consult an Ayurvedic doctor, and they will be able to guide you. Definitely. Is tamas a kapha imbalance? So tamas is, Kim, let me put it this way: sattva, rajas, and tamas are the gunas of the mind. So tamas, when it is a guna, there is no imbalance there. When you have got predominantly kapha without imbalance, okay. So as I said last time, patience is a real good virtue. Sometimes you feel that the person is waiting for something, or you think that he's not active or is not doing something. You might mistake him to be lazy. But patience is a quality which is predominantly a little bit of tamas. Okay, their kapha imbalance is not there. But when that patience becomes laziness, then you notice that there is too much, definitely too much of tamas there, and there's too much of kapha there. That is tamas as a dosha and not as a guna. So when as a guna, tamas is actually good for the mind. When it becomes a dosha, then it becomes bad. Okay, then you see the kapha imbalance. Okay, Anubhav. Okay. Uh, was so does it complete, is it still there on your face, is something which I want to see. If it's predominantly more on the upper part of your body, then there is a lot of kapha involved, a lot of itching involved in it. Okay, oozing involved, might have oozing also. So in your condition, you should completely avoid milk and milk products. You cannot take anything which you should basically go on a little bit of low protein diet. Absolutely no urat, no non-veg. Okay, nothing sweetened. Okay, restrictions: you should also be somebody who is doing exercises on a regular basis. Okay, these are certain food and lifestyle changes. And then the question is: psoriasis completely curable in Ayurveda? The reason why probably you got psoriasis could be, I don't know whether it is hereditary. That is one thing. Okay, genetically, yes. If you have somebody in your family having some kind of autoimmune condition, then there is always a chance that you can get some other form where psoriasis is an autoimmune condition. Or you are 24, you're too young, but somewhere you would have gone through a lot of stress. Okay, and in autoimmune, what happens is your immunity is somewhere compromised, and the major reason why an immunity gets compromised is because of stress. If that is the condition, that stress also has to be taken care of, it has to be resolved and above. Okay, we have got so many cases and above where we have been treating psoriasis people. They have been treated maybe 10 years, 12 years, 15 years back. Not even a single patch for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. Okay. But you should always know that you had this issue and you go overboard too much, there might be a relapse. Okay. But I would say you can beautifully handle psoriasis according with Ayurveda. Yes, Subhash, as I said, the strength of the whole body is basically kapha. Okay, and lymphatic system is directly related to the immunity part of it. Immunity in the body is by kapha. Okay, so lymphatic system is directly related to the kapha. Renu, my daughter feels like okay to vomit in the morning. Okay, so somewhere whatever she's eating is not getting digested, or she doesn't have the digestive capacity to digest the food she's eating, or the kind of food she's eating. But normally, when somebody sits up too much at night, over a period, initially it starts with too much, little bit of burning sensation, because when you sit away at night, it slowly from the kapha stage goes to pitta, so you can start getting the burning. In spite of that, you still start sitting late up at night, you get into the vata state. That's when you start getting you initially it's only burning sensation, then you start getting the reflux. Okay, that then the vata starts getting, so you have got all the three doshas there: indigestion happening, acidity happening, and the reflux. That's when you start throwing up. Okay, so it can be too much of kapha. But she also is indulging in activities where the vata is going up, Renu. So she has to be careful about that also. Okay. Harsha. Sugar is portrayed as poison and evil, and some medicines rather do contain sugar. Your thoughts? Sugar is not portrayed as poison in as far as Ayurveda goes. It's called sita. Okay, it is something which can be consumed on a regular basis, on daily basis. Okay, but the difference is that when the book was written, Ashtanga Hridaya, or these books were written, sita, the white sugar, was not manufactured or bleached or used chemicals to make it. Okay, so if you are somebody who takes probably 1 spoon or 2 spoons of sugar on a daily basis, the good kind of sugar in Kerala, there's something called Guruvayur Sharkara, where it's completely organic. You don't have this bleaching or the animal bone charred into the sugar. So if you're consuming moderately one teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of sugar, it doesn't make a huge difference. But nowadays, everything you consume is sweetened. You have any get together, any function, anybody meeting, you eat pastries, you eat ice creams, you eat that, everything processed food. A lot of sugar is actually getting into the system. Okay, sugar, because sugar is becoming or being marked as poison because of its abuse and the kind of sugar which actually comes to you. If it is a good kind of sugar in moderation, is perfectly fine. Slightly brown, small melasma on face. I If you have one thing, melasma is hereditary, and if you are 40 plus, 45 plus, there is always a chance of you slowly start getting a little bit of patches here and there. That is very much normal. Okay, it has got nothing to do with your health. It is only about a cosmetic thing. Yes, we can do a little bit of external and internal medicines which can actually lighten it. It cannot be completely removed. Okay, it is not basically vitamin deficiency. Any discoloration which is slightly brownish or blackish or grayish is vata. Okay, you will have noticed that somebody who is extremely stressed or denourished will start getting black color or dark brownish color under the eyes. So it's basically vata. So as you age, you are entering into the vata stage. You will start seeing small patches here and there. It is quite natural. You'll see blackish discoloration coming on the face. It is natural. Okay, we can only do things which can slightly lighten it, but not completely remove it. Okay. Which imbalance causes, see, most of the mental issues which can happen to you has got a lot of involvement of pitta. Okay, when so the treatment for most mental issues is to get the pitta out of the system, if that's your question. So it's predominantly, so it can be anxiety or depression. What you see is the person, the reason why the person gets depressed is sadness, yes, but also it's also associated with a little bit of anger. So pitta is the predominant dosha. Once the pitta is rectified and the metabolism actually starts working well, okay, the person will feel much better. So predominant dosha is pitta. See, Vamana is a process where, Anubhav, I understand that. Vamana is a process where the milk comes out of your body without getting digested. Okay. So when I said milk and milk products, ghee does not come there. Ghee is usually given for snehapana. Okay. And milk, you are consuming the milk and the milk comes out even before it gets digested. So for that Vamana therapy, milk is perfectly fine. People also use grape juices, or people can also use sugarcane juice for inducing vomiting. Milk has been used in your condition. That is not wrong at all. As I said, it is coming out before it gets digested. But from your diet, as I said, you should remove it. I understand, Anubhav. I don't think I can give you a treatment while talking like this. It's always good that you. I don't know where things went wrong, but Panchakarma is the right approach to get treated. Okay, I don't know whether they did Rakta Mokshana for you also, whether they removed. If that has to be done, then that can also be done, removing blood. But Panchakarma is definitely the right way in which it can be addressed. So if you are stressed and if there's some anxiety or something, that also has to be managed and above. Okay. Arpita, non-alcoholic fatty liver. Yeah, see, non-fatty alcoholic liver is becoming very common. You have to see where you are going wrong in your lifestyle, Arpita. You can't say that a lot of people are doing that. I'm also doing it. They are not getting a problem. I'm getting a problem. So, depending upon your nature and your prakriti, there might be certain things which are going wrong in your day to day lifestyle, which say cumulatively contributing to your issue. So, that is something which we have to handle, Arpita. Okay. I don't know how active your regular exercises or what kind of food if you're consuming, somebody who's consuming too much of spicy, sour, or deep fry foods, you always have got a chance. Okay. So you will have to probably make a little bit of changes in your food and your lifestyle. Okay. See, osteoarthritis is they didn't have knee replacement in those days. All of us know that. Okay. And osteoarthritis was not very common in those days. And we think that osteoarthritis, yes, ultimately it comes to the uh, lack of strength of the bone, but the lack of strength of the bone, it leads to the lack of strength of the bone because the tissues around the bone have become weak. Okay, very rarely you see osteoarthritis, or it has to be overused. The joint has to be overused, like sports people, all those people, when they overuse it, degeneration happens and you get osteoarthritis. But for a person who's living a normal life, if he's somebody who does exercises on a regular basis, you'll see that the muscles, the tend, all those things are really, toned so that the bones actually get support. If the bones are well supported by the soft tissues around it, that is when the bone can actually become healthy. So we all of us believe that if the bone is healthy, you will not get osteoarthritis. It is wrong. Ultimately, it is the bone that is getting eroded. But the reason for that is because it was overworked because it did not get support from the soft tissues around it. Okay, so that if you look at in the olden days, your question is most of the we never had people who are sitting at the computer and doing a lot of things who are sedentary. People had to actually go out and do things physically, and they were much healthier physically than what we are right now. So the instances of osteoarthritis were extremely low, and however they had issues, they managed it pretty well. My son is 2 months old. Okay. 2 months is too old, Vineet, to say anything about hereditary because you have dust allergy. Okay. I would say you can you can take a towel and you know we call that towel steam. You can give a towel steam to him and see that he gets decongested, and see that whether he is actually getting exposed to too much of cold air like AC. You might feel that it's slightly warm and he might be sleeping in an AC room. If he's too exposed to breathing in cool air, and as you said, you also have that hereditary, there is always a chance of he getting congested. And if he's somebody who doesn't vomit, normally, kids you have seen, right? If they eat too much or drink too much of milk, there's a chance they vomit, they puke. If your child is not somebody who pukes once in a while, there will be an extra accumulation of phlegm. Okay, when any indigestion comes, the child normally pukes. When they puke, every part opens up. So you don't have to be too worried. It's too young for us to say anything about him, but keep the baby warm. Guruvayur Sharkara is where you get it online. I don't know. Definitely, if you've got somebody, if you've got access to somebody in Guruvayur, you will get it. Okay. Even in Ernakulam, some shops only sell Guruvayur Sharkara. It's a very small industry, called industry, where because it's slightly expensive. Okay, and that is it is completely veg. So there are no bones, nothing. They provide that veg sugar to prepare prasadam in the temple. Okay, so it is very thin, and it is fine and white in color. And people say that the white color is because of adding bone and bleaching sugar. Nowadays, yes, but in those days, no, because the synonym for sugar itself is sita. That means white. So they could get the sugar white without adding animal bone or bleaching it. But I'm not sure where you can get it online. You can just check it online, Kavita. Okay. So any other question, or shall we wind it up? Okay, so basically, if you look at Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, Vata is the one which helps you move. Pitta is the one which gives you the energy to do things, and Kapha is the one which provides the nourishment. So when all these three things actually work hand in hand in balance, that is when the life becomes smooth and healthy. Okay. Yes, Kavita. Gandha Tailam is actually a good one for bone health, especially when people who end up with fractures and all those things. We ask them to take Gandha Tailam with milk at bedtime, 10 drops. Okay, fracture healing or anything related to bone injury, the recovery is much faster with Gandha Tailam. Okay, it's available in the market. Okay, then. Okay, I'll see you next week with another topic. Harsha. Okay, any treatment for umbilical hernia? Hernia in Ayurveda is called vriddhi or increase. Okay, you should understand that normally umbilicus is, it's likely a weaker spot, and you have got two muscles on both sides of umbilicus coming all the way from the chest. It's called the rectus abdominis muscles, two muscles. Okay, so especially it happens to women, mostly in women, and women after pregnancy. Normally what happens is the stomach enlarges and the muscles stretch, and then after delivery, when it comes back, the muscles which are actually close to each other, they don't come that close to each other. Okay, so there's a small gap, and umbilicus being a critical spot, weak spot over there, the intestines start coming out of the umbilicus. Okay, it starts protruding, and that is called that is basically umbilical hernia. Okay, so Ayurveda talks about vriddhi, that is hernia. It can be also the one that goes to scrotum or different parts. Ayurveda mentions surgery, Harsha. Okay, open it up, put it back in, and suture it. Okay, so treatment, as I said, yes, Ayurvedic procedure is also surgery. Remedies to lubrication of knee. See, the reason why, as I said, when there is too much of stress or strain on the knee joint, that's when, or any joint, that is when the bones, when that joint, starts degenerating. And when you look at pain in the joints has not been mentioned in Ayurveda in bone weakness or something. It has been basically mentioned in muscle mamsakshaya or muscle weakness. Okay, sandhi vedana has been mentioned in muscle weakness. So it was very clear for them. If your muscles are toned, If your muscle, even a person who has got osteoarthritis, initial stages, you have to do a little bit of strengthening. Start and see that the muscles around the joint are strengthened and toned, so that joint is held in position. When the joint is held in position, there is a little bit of gap that is being created between joints, and the lubrication in the joint slowly starts coming back. Yes, there are medicines, that's why I said gandha tailam is actually good for that. Okay, there are other things like Kshiravalla 101, or even certain things which are available in the market like Artilon. Tablets are there, capsules are there, which has got oil inside it, which helps increase the lubrication. But you should give enough space and time for that joint to heal. Okay, so toning of muscles, very, very important. Jayanti Venkat, yes, I do consultations online. Yes, you can fix up a slot. It is drnambi.com, drnambi.com. It's a website. You can go, you can fix up a slot, your convenient slot, and then we can definitely have a consultation online. Okay. But if you're from Chennai, I visit Chennai once a month. We can meet there also. Or you can come down to Kerala and meet me directly. Kim, yes, Gandha Thailam is also good for osteoarthritis conditions. Anything where bone health has been affected, Gandha Thailam is definitely good. Okay. So with that, we come to the end of virgin coconut oil. Okay. So yeah, coconut oil, cold pressed coconut oil is definitely supposed to be best. Of late, you see even modern scientists and medical people say that coconut oil is really good, but 10 years, 15 years back, they said it was extremely bad. It can cause heart diseases. That'll keep on changing. So if you are used to, Subhash, I again tell that very clearly, if you are used to taking coconut oil internally for, not as medicine, I'm telling you, in food, then that is actually good for you. But if you're not used to, don't force yourself to have coconut oil because somebody from the West says it is good. Me from Kerala, since birth, I've been having coconut oil, so coconut oil actually suits me. If you're somebody from Tamil Nadu, sesame oil might suit you. If you're somebody from Punjab or something, probably, um, sarson ka tel, some other oil might suit you. If you're from groundnut oil might suit. So it depends upon which part of India you are and genetically what oil you are used to. I think that should be the best oil for you. But let it be taken out naturally. And pan India people use ghee, so ghee is also fine. Okay. I think Subhash have answered your question. If you are genetically used to taking coconut oil, good, have coconut oil, cold pressed, natural coconut oil. Okay. Okay, then good night. I'll see you next week. Namaste.